How to handle enemies. Welcome to day 1082 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar world to the online world of business, with dogs barking in the background because it's live video, right? And they haven't been fed yet, so they're a little miffed with me. So today, my idiom for Supersize Your Business, I talk about an idiom or a proverb every day for my Supersize Your Business group. And just because it's a fun way to think about beliefs and things and phrases that have been around for a long time and have therefore impact on the people that we interact with every day. And when we're in business, we interact with a lot of people usually every day. Maybe not physically right now because of the pandemic and COVID-19, but we interact with people virtually or online or on Zoom or through other various technological things. So we're still interacting with people. And it's a good way to think about different aspects of how we want to interact with people, how we want to show up. So today's idiom was keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And I got to thinking about it and I'm like, geez, do I have any enemies? Because usually I don't. Have I had frenemies and enemies in the past? Sure, we all have. That's called human beings and interaction. And we find that we don't get along with everybody. Everyone doesn't love us. Everybody doesn't adore us. I know, shocker, but it's true. And no matter how amazing a human being you are, there are going to be people that don't like you. There are going to be people that judge you. There are going to be people that just plain hate and are mean and are awful and horrible toward you for no fault of your own. There's no reason, people aren't bullied because there's anything wrong with them. They're bullied because there's something wrong with the person that's doing the bullying. So I was thinking about how do you keep your friends close and your enemies closer? And did a little research on it. Of course, it's basically you turn your enemies into your friends. And when they're your friends, then they're not your enemies anymore, right? And I don't know. I don't have the energy, I guess, especially as I've gotten older, to think of competition as enemy or to think of anyone as an enemy. For some reason, it feels like hate has become some kind of a virtue signal to part of the population, and it's really exhausting. And I think that a lot of the proverbs I've been talking about this year have just been so appropriate to the times that we're living in, because the lessons are centuries old, which means they go to the core of human beings and how we feel and how we react naturally. Doesn't mean they're right or wrong, doesn't mean they're positive or negative. It just means it's something that we can consciously consider and take into account when we're dealing with our life and our situations and our coworkers and people and politics and religion and everything that impacts our lives. So how do you keep actually Sun Tzu is the one that talked about keeping your friends close and your enemies closer. He was that Chinese brilliant war strategist, which is kind of interesting. But then I looked up, well, how do you change? And really, this is kind of the recipe for turning your enemies into friends, but it's kind of the recipe for how you should treat your friends and how you should treat all other people, right? And there were 7 steps, which I'll just run through them quickly because I thought it was really interesting. Establish reciprocal liking. Find something that you like and respect about not only your enemies, but everybody you come in contact with. It helps you remember them. It helps you to build rapport. It helps you to, tighten your connection with them. Greet them with enthusiasm. Be supportive. Give them a benefit of the doubt. We give our friends the benefit of the doubt, right? If they make a mistake, we just blow it off. We're like, oh yeah, no big deal. We'll do it again on Tuesday or something if they're late for something or can't do something or cancel an appointment. So be supportive. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Show appreciation. Make sure that you're grateful and you show appreciation for other people, right? Show that you're listening. Actually active listen to them. Don't interrupt. Big one for my family. We're always practicing to not interrupt one another. And then let them in. Let them into your life and you be a part of their life when appropriate, right? That's how we should treat people. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Treat people the way you expect to be treated. And then they're not your enemies. They're your friends. The other thing about that I think is really important is competition is a made-up thing, right? Is there really any competition in the world? I can hear people, oh, yeah, there's all kinds of competition. There's There's only one winner. There's only one the best. Guess what? That is so not true, because we get to define everything around us. So there might be only one person that wins an Olympic gold medal in something, but they might not actually be the best in the world, because maybe the person that's actually the best in the world doesn't compete in the Olympics, right? So anything you come at me with, you can say that competition is this big enemy, hairy thing. But I say the only competition we really have is with ourselves and us becoming the best version and the better version of ourselves. So I once I change my perspective on competing against other people on the planet, I'm never going to be able to compete directly head for head with anybody on the planet for everything for my success in life. So why would I compete with them for anything, right? You know, people compete for their significant other. People compete for jobs. People compete for races and contests and competitions. But guess what? All those contests and competitions and awards, those were all made up too, right? If you think about it, it's all made up. And is it a positive way to use your energy and your emotions and your time? Maybe competing for something with somebody and having enemies works for you. More power to you, but then I'm not the person that you're probably going to want to listen to and talk to, because I don't believe that we need to have enemies. I think that that's a choice. We can decide. And now I've had people that I never expected attacking me, literally attacking me and trying to shut down my business that I didn't even know existed. Why? Well, maybe people would say I was naive because I wasn't paying attention, but also I ended up the better because of that whole situation, because I never expected people to be my enemy. Was it struggling? Yeah, stressful. And was it horrible when I was going through it? Absolutely. But I gained so much from that experience. I gained, wisdom and when to be wiser, things that I need to pay attention to that I might not have been. And they just stayed the same. They didn't gain. They didn't become better people. They actually became worse people. So when I look back at that, I'm like, who won? I mean, I'm still here doing my thing, and they're pretty miserable. So we have to look at the big picture sometimes. And sometimes it's hard when things around us feel like they're out of control and chaotic. And boy, hasn't 2020 put us all in that wagon of, holy crap, when's this going to stop? What else is going to happen? And it's not a very powerful place to be coming from, is wondering what else is going to happen. Uncertainty makes us unsettled. And we humans, we don't like to be unsettled. We like to have things that we can expect and things that are known, that that's how we can make our choices and our decisions of what is right for us. So that's what I'm thinking about today. I'm thinking about a lot of stuff today, but that's one of the big things. Do one thing a day that centers you. And my 365-day challenge for 2021 is about centering, getting more peaceful and calm and understanding and focused on myself. Centering, however you define centering. I'm using the little journal book, do one thing every day that centers you. Do one thing every day that scares you. Do one thing every day that makes you happy. Do one fun thing every day. Do one thing every day that centers you. So it takes me a while to get the title right? And it doesn't take me at all. I just hop right in and start doing the challenge. Today's was about doing something till it hurts and not starting counting until it hurts. And I'm like, I don't usually do that. I track and count things all along the way so I can see progress instead of just saying, and Muhammad Ali said that. So, he was talking about sit-ups. He doesn't start counting sit-ups until it starts to hurt. So if he's going to do, most of us would say, I'm going to do 50 sit-ups, and you just do 50 sit-ups. He would say, I'm going to do sit-ups, but I'm not going to start counting those sit-ups, and I'm going to do 50 sit-ups, but I'm not going to start counting until I actually feel the burn of doing those sit-ups. So different perspective, different strokes for different folks, right? We do what works for us, and we let other people do what works for them. Oh, unique concept, right? Let's let other people be themselves, and let's us be ourselves. Whoa, dynamite, world breaker, there we go. So obviously I'm in a strange mood today, and I'm playing with toys again because my granddaughter was over yesterday. So whenever she's over, it reminds me of toys and fun, and she is definitely my friend. So love to know your experience with this idiom or this particular saying about centering ourselves. Any ideas you have on centering? The whole topic of centering and things it's pretty new to me, right? I always, we are all each individually the center of our own universe, but some of us have a harder time, feeling that way. All right, that's all I've got today. Have an absolutely amazing day. I haven't had my coffee yet, so I'm going to go have a cup of coffee and feed the dogs, let the dogs out, things like that, and then get about my daily routine. Have an amazing day. If I can help you anyway, ask in the comments below. Love to know your thoughts on the things we talked about today. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.